I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank.
Oh.
I live as a capitalist. I live when I pay.
No.
What do? I get dirty every single year. My salary.
Oh my gosh.
Charlie.
Oh my
Come on,
gosh.
Shank, let's go.
Charlie,
Oh, he pissed him off, bro. I've never seen him this pissed off.
You have never, ever lived in a
tolls?
fully capitalist country.
You pay tolls. You pay tolls.
So that's it? That they're
That's a
financing?
user fee. That's not socialism.
Oh,
that's if you use the highway, you pay for the highway.
Highways are
you
not
pay a gas tax.
socialized. Okay,
you pay a gas
you're right.
tax. So
Yeah.
if you drive a car, you pay into the highway fund.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
how it works, Hassan.
You're right.
You know,
Socialism is just what you want it to be,
I'm gonna
and
put
not
a
what it
gun to your
actually
head
is. You're right.
and fund
Never
a
mind.
program that will not benefit you to send the money to someone else that is in a different socioeconomic circumstance.
Here's
Free
the
market
thing.
capitalism is the greatest wealth-creating engine in human history. It's lifted more people out of poverty, and you are a beneficiary of the very system that you are bashing right now.
No, because it's
Your
not
life
free
is
market
better.
capitalism. It's so stupid. When the last time we had free market capitalism or
So basically what's going on here is that Charlie Kirk is debating a super woke socialist, who practically wants to turn society more socialist. And he's not a fan of capitalism, although he 100% benefits off of capitalism. I hope you enjoy this video, and let's get into it. Before we get too deep into this video, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is a site offering purely unbiased news in every way imaginable. And by clicking on my link, ground.news/LFRJojo, you can access this and get a discount. If you don't believe me when I say they're unbiased, I'll prove it right now. Once you're interested in the story on Ground News, you'll have full access to all articles published per story in the coverage details section. You will also be able to compare the headlines of every article published so that you're aware how different media sources are conveying the same exact topic. Let's take a look at today's story. Facebook says it mistakenly censored Trump assassination attempt photo. How do you even do that? The left has the article titled as, "Why are conservatives claiming Google is covering up the shooting of Trump?" Practically trying to gaslight the conservative side. Whereas the right has the article titled as, "Facebook says it mistakenly censored Trump assassination attempt photo." From this, you can see that the left is deciding to question the sanity of conservatives, whereas the right has decided to focus on Facebook's mistake. Two different perspectives, the same exact story. This article was found using my favorite tool called the News Blind Spot. The News Blind Spot is a pretty cool feature that shows all the hidden stories that an opposing side doesn't want you to see. And in this instance, the opposing side, being the left, may not want you to see this story. Currently, Ground News is offering their biggest sale of the year, where you can receive a 40% discount on their Vantage subscription, which I personally use for my news analysis. Just visit ground.news/LFRJojo. I truly value what Ground News is bringing to the table, and they're definitely what's up next. And if you want to get 100% unbiased news, you really have to use this site. But anyways, let's get back to the video.
something close to it was leading up to the Great Depression, okay? There's no such thing as like, we have a fully free market. Where is the fully free market? If you like a decentralized government, why don't you go live in Somalia? There's decentralized government there, all you want.
Well, so we are more capitalist than we are socialists right now. And everywhere the free market...
Oh, so you admit that capitalism and socialism coexist.
So we have
Thank you for proving my earlier point, even though you were like,
yes,
it's Marxism.
we have some so yes, we have broken public schools, which you would attribute to socialist policies. We spend money that we don't have.
I said that we need to spend
Government
more
is far
on
too
them.
big, far too powerful, far too controlling over our lives.
Dude,
we have a
stop trying to
$4.4 trillion
fearmonger over
budget every
socialism.
single
It's so
year.
weird. It's an idea. It's an ideology. You
We
can't,
have,
like,
we
make
have
it seem
3
so-
million people that work for the federal government. All of these are pseudo-socialist ideas, of which I categorically disagree with.
So you want to privatize the school system entirely?
Okay, localize the school
answer
system,
my question.
eliminate
Answer
the
my
Department
question.
of Education,
Don't
send the money
run
back
away.
to the states,
Do you want to
allow a
privatize
voucher
the school system?
Right, one at a time.
By the way, what does Foster Friess think about all that? I would like to know his perspective, because obviously his perspective is more important.
So if you're just so you don't know, he's trying to attack.
Bro, can he answer the question? Can he talk? You keep cutting him off. You asked him, does he want to privatize the school system, and you won't even allow him to answer. But when it comes to socialism, the socialist view of the school system is that every single school should basically be equal when it comes to funding, which doesn't make any sense, because there are just some schools that, for one, the neighborhood around that school earns more money, or they're just a better neighborhood. So you're telling me this amazing neighborhood has to have the same school, like the same exact school as a neighborhood who doesn't try as hard to focus on schooling? No, it doesn't make sense. And that's kind of the problem when it comes to socialism beliefs. everything in society is not meant to be equal, because everyone in society and every system in society doesn't do equal amounts of work. So you'll have one neighborhood who has fun drive. I mean, who has fun drives, who has potlucks, who makes their students study more often than not. You'll have this neighborhood who, if you believe in a socialist school system, they will get the same amount of funding and opportunity as another school system who doesn't care as much as them. And that's the problem, because one group of people is just working harder than the other group of people. But let's continue.
My investors and donors, of which I'm happy to talk about. We have 35,000 donors spanned in all 50 states. We now have a $15 million budget. And we are supported by some of the most successful people in the American business community.
He means wealthy billionaires who have stolen your money and your
wealth
wages.
For everyone. Oh, really? So when we get investments from people that, for example, helped create the modern internet as we know it, or people that helped...
Oh, how was the modern internet created? Oh, wait, that was also socialism. That was actually military finance.
So let me ask you a question.
So there you go. And another example of how publicly funded research is good, and we all benefit from it.
The most successful Silicon Valley companies right now are all socialists. Is that what you're saying? Google,
no,
Apple,
absolutely not.
Facebook. Oh, okay. So
did the most successful Silicon Valley companies invent the internet?
Technology sector.
Come on,
we rely on the free market.
That's not what I said at all.
No, hold on.
How
about internet providers? You just said internet providers.
No, I said ISPs need socialism so that there's an infrastructure set in place so that they can come and build their...
Of which they pay for every single year.
Okay,
so
exactly, that's socialism.
What? I'm a little confused.
In order for them to operate, they have to pay into it.
This is so silly.
So we're talking about two different definitions.
No, we're not. There's one real definition that I'm trying to describe to you, and then there's another one where you're just like making up and picking and choosing whatever is capitalist because it benefits your talking point, and then claiming that
Western civilization was created by free market capitalism.
More government. I'm trying to explain this concept to you, but you refuse to understand. But I don't think it's because you can't understand it. I think it's because you refuse to understand because it doesn't fit your narrative.
My narrative's about freedom. My narrative's that America's the greatest country ever to exist, and I want to expand freedom and opportunity for all people. My narrative is that
there is no freedom in a country.
The narrative I carry is that we have global poverty at the all-time low.
That is privatized tyranny, Charlie.
Bro, what is up with these people who have this weird belief that America is not free? I've been hearing that a lot lately, and it just drives me crazy because I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And when you say America's not free or we don't have free systems, another question, who are you comparing America to? China? Russia? No, like, I really want to know who you're comparing America to. I hope you're not comparing them to any, like, European places, because they are partners with America and they actually benefit off of America's system. Like, who are you talking about when you say that we're not free and they are? Who?
There is no freedom in a country that is privatized tyranny, where your bosses can do whatever they want and never even give you an example, and never even give you a reason.
I'm not arguing
for
anything in the same galaxy as what you're describing, first and foremost.
You just said I'm arguing for freedom. I'm telling you that progress is important.
Let's
progress
walk through.
towards
in a capitalist
liberty
system,
needs to happen.
That means you have private property rights, which mean if somebody is exploiting you, you go to a judge and you adjudicate that differences. That is inherent in a free market system. You're arguing some sort of
is that the only thing that happens?
Abstract anarcho-capitalism.
What happens when there are natural barriers of entry and the government obviously has to step in and subsidize? What happens? Like, we have socialism,
like affirmative action policies.
We only have socialism for the wealthy, and we have some socialism for the very poor.
Okay.
What we need to do is bring that back and have socialism for everyone. For example, Medicare for all would be a good place to start.
Okay. So you...
Bro, I hate when people... Somebody has to pay for this stuff. Do you not realize somebody has to pay for this stuff? You're talking about universal health care. So in order to have universal health care that's free, the money has to come from the doctor's salaries. Or if it doesn't come from the doctor specifically, it comes from hospitals, or it comes from my taxes, or your taxes, so on and so forth. And plus, if you don't have free healthcare, or where we live in a system now, some people pay for a higher tier of healthcare. So will their higher tier of healthcare just be stripped down, or how will this work? Did you see the problem here? The person who goes to work every day and pays for these things are getting punished when you have this type of system.
There is no answer you can give me to what will happen when automation wipes out the labor force with artificial intelligence. Socialism, whether you like it or not, some variation of that already exists in our country, but some variation of that that will make you deeply uncomfortable will inevitably happen. So it's really silly. You can yell about the free market and how great it is, and also the free market's great because my dad is wealthy is not an argument that you can make anymore, okay? There are people that are suffering in this country.
So Hassan, why don't you give 95% of your money away and go live on a commune?
Do you really think that that's how it works? Do you really think that that's how it works?
Go live what you preach. Because every single
this is as silly.
You talked uninterrupted for 5 minutes. Hassan, let me finish.
Go ahead. Sorry, you're right.
I live what I practice. I'm a free market capitalist. I employ people. I took a risk. I have my own startup business. Every single day, I practice what I preach. He wants other people to contribute to what he considers to be a good idea, what he considers will make the world a better place. That you have the freedom to go live as a socialist. Go do it, Hassan. What's stopping you?
Okay. All right. So here's why this is ridiculous. And the last point I will make is this. Here's why that conversation is absolutely preposterous. If I gave away the measly earnings that I had and gave away 95% of that,
how much do you make,
that wouldn't necessarily even push the needle.
How much do you make?
I will be very honest. It's really embarrassing, especially because my boss is sitting right there. I make $60,000 a year, okay? And that's a really good salary, but it's not like what Ted Cruz's wife was talking about the other day when she said $174,000 salary a year. It's not like we're going to buy a second home anytime soon, but that's besides the point, okay? You're trying to attack me, which is ridiculous, like asking me what my salary is. Sure, I'll reveal it willingly.
You brought it up in context. I'm asking, why don't you live like a socialist?
Okay.
Go live like a socialist.
The point is larger than that, Charlie.
Because he doesn't want to. When you socialists don't want to live like socialists. They want to live like capitalists, but they want you to live like a socialist. Them living like a socialist will lower their lifestyle. They don't want to. He doesn't want to do that.
Why don't you live like a socialist?
Okay.
Go live like a socialist.
The point is larger than that, Charlie.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Cenk.
Oh.
I live as a capitalist. I live when I What do I do? I get dirty every single year.
Hold on.
What's my salary?
Oh my gosh.
Charlie.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, Cenk, let's go.
Charlie, take a seat. Take a seat.
Psycho?
All right, no. Take a seat. You're gonna take a seat. You're gonna take a seat over here.
He lost
What's
it,
my
bro.
salary?
All right.
Ridiculous. All right, behave, everyone. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I practice what I preach, Cenk.
Charlie.
You
Stop.
do not practice what you preach.
Oh my gosh.
Charlie.
All right, hold on. Last point.
You don't want.
He pissed him off, bro. I've never seen him this pissed off. But this is how frustrating it is to listen to stupid talking points. People benefit off of America's system every single day. Every single day they benefit. They eat whatever they want. They wear whatever they want. They buy the fanciest things. They travel to third world countries to vacation once a year. Sometimes people do it even twice a year. They do whatever they want. They get out debt that they're never going to pay back. They really benefit off of these systems. But then when it comes to talking about actionable things that we can do, or when it even comes to talking about patriotism, do you even like America? The answer is always no. How could you wake up and benefit off of a country every single day? You're the freest that you can ever be on earth in history. You're the freest. And you still hate the system. You still hate the way we run things. You still hate capitalism, although you benefit from it. You get to go to Starbucks every morning and get your $7 sugary drink every single day, and you could go in your car and tweet about or post about or YouTube about how you hate capitalism, although you are one of the main cogs in capitalism.
I want to give him the attention here.
Everyone,
35,000 donors across the country, my friend Cenk. We are funded by the grassroots of this country. You can try to demagogue it all you want.
Okay. Can I finish my point? All right.
Less than Hassan, so you
Hold
can check it yourself.
on. Let me finish my point. All right. Right? We're having a reasonable discussion, right? We're here, we're talking to one another. Let's stop screaming at one another, including those of the Young Turks who obviously don't pay me enough. So here's what I was trying to say, okay? We like to make ourselves feel comfortable by implementing certain environmental policies. For example, like the straw ban in California, which is largely ridiculous because it lowers 0.006% of the plastic in the ocean. This is just simply to make ourselves feel comfortable when 100 companies are responsible for 71% of the carbon emissions. It's ridiculous to think that we are going to have any sort of positive change if I go out and I live in a upstate New York like collective.
So he's basically saying, because if I change my lifestyle, it won't change the world that much. That means I shouldn't do it. But that's inaccurate, and that's an inaccurate interpretation of what's happening. If people who thought like you became socialists today, that would 100% make a difference. But you are delusional. You think, well, I can't make a difference, so I'm just going to continue to live my life as a capitalist. No, go ahead and be a socialist. Nobody's going to stop you. You're going to make some difference, whether it's 0.0001%. That should be enough for you, right? But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.